And moving on now, Army's Agnipath recruitment drive seems to have hit a roadblock in Punjab. Army's zonal recruitment officer in Jalandhar has written to Punjab Chief Secretary flagging lack of local support for the recruitment rallies.
So this is happening at a time when Times Now has exclusively accessed the letter that states that there has been no clear-cut commitment of support from the local administration, forcing the army to consider holding the recruitment drive and the rallies in abeyance or alternatively holding it in neighboring states. Now, the letter pointed out that the state support, like police's assistance to maintain law and order and to have arrangements for medical support, are the key to successful recruitment rallies for which they are not receiving any support.
So yes, now this is another controversy that has erupted in Punjab, and very sensational charge that has been levelled if we go by this very letter, which is now highlighting how there is no local support for the Agnipath rallies across the state. Let me go across to Gurpreet joining us with more details. Gurpreet, what more can you tell us? What are the allegations and what is the lack of support that is being spoken of here by the Punjab government and the police?
Well, if we can go through the contents of the letter, it's a clear-cut message from the army that they are not getting any local support from the local administration. They had already written to the chief secretary saying that he should give a direction to the local deputy commissioner because they are not getting any assistance for this rally which is scheduled to be held in Punjab. And we have seen that after that we had confronted the chief secretary. He is denying all these allegations, saying that he has already given the direction. This issue had earlier come up, and earlier the direction had been given to the local deputy commissioner. Even the finance minister of Aam Aadmi Party, he is also taking U-turn, saying that this scheme has been failed and they are trying to level such allegations. But these are the serious allegations which had been leveled by the army, saying that they are not able to get any local support, and that's why they had suggested that this rally should be held in any abeyance, or at the same time it should be changed place from this state to another state. So all these things are putting a question mark whether there is not a proper coordination between
We'll just stay on with us. We also have Pranesh with us right now. Pranesh, this letter dated 8th of September recommended that the recruitment drive be suspended or be relocated to other states.
This is a massive news break. Times Now has accessed the copy of this letter written by the army. Now, what has changed in the showdown over Agnipath, Amita, is that so far you had a situation where political parties were taking on each other. For the first time in this entire saga, you have now the army putting it in black and white, the problems they are facing. And the army's letter talks about the problems in great detail. Look at the subject line here: enrollment of Agniveers in Indian Army. This is written to the Principal Secretary of Punjab, marked to the Chief Secretary, and let me straight come to point number 2. This is point number 2, and let me highlight this. We are constrained to bring to your kind attention that support from the local civil administration is vacillating with no clear-cut commitments. Written in as many words. They are usually citing their inadequacies due to lack of directions from the state government here at Chandigarh or lack of funds. The Aam Aadmi Party runs the state of Punjab. The army letter is saying that, look, whenever we come up with a proposal, talk about the logistical aspects of recruitment and rallies, this is the response that comes to us. What is the response from the state government? They are usually citing their inadequacies due to lack of directions, also lack of funds. Now the army says, because of these constraints and non-cooperation, we are forced to move the program out of Punjab. Now Punjab is a border state, an important state, and more importantly, historically, if you see, prides itself in sending large number of people to the military, whether it is the army, air force or the navy. Political blame game is raging on this letter. The BJP has hit back at the Aam Aadmi Party, Amita.
All right, thank you for that, Pranesh. Let me first up go across to Srinjoy joining us on this broadcast, and then we'll take in a word from Mr. Arasan Singh as well. Srinjoy, put this in perspective for us, because we're seeing this recruitment drive take place in several parts of the country. What is the kind of support that the army in this particular case needs from the police, from the state administration? Let's break this down point by point.
Yes, number one, if you're going to have a rally, then you will have hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe even thousands of people taking part, of which a certain number will be chosen. Now, if you need that, then you need space, you need police protection, you need organizational help from the local administration. Now, if that is missing, then it will be a difficult problem for the army. Secondly, it is a large number of people who join the army from Punjab. You are looking at a Punjab regiment, we are looking at a Sikh regiment, you are looking at a Sikh light infantry. So that's a lot of people. So that would be a lot of people who are joining from the Agnipath scheme, lots of people. So as a result, that background will be necessary, the organizational help, the police, all of that is necessary. Now, if the state government does not do it, it clearly becomes a problem for the army. It becomes a logistical nightmare for the army, which is why the army has gone out and said, look, please do something for us. Otherwise, we will have to go to other states. The army could well go to Chandigarh, could well go to Haryana, could well go to Rajasthan. All these things can be done. But why go away from Punjab? That is really the problem.
But that's the point there, especially when it comes to the army that had requested for local government to facilitate the rally and the administrative as well. There has been a poor response coming in. Mr. Harrison Singh, sir, good afternoon to you. But first, let's play out exactly what is coming across as a reaction from the Punjab Chief Secretary's side, because they are now saying the army letter that they have received saying that the state is cooperating, but there could be a possible communication gap. So the blame that has now been shifted, saying that there have been issues that have risen because of some communication gap.
हमने सब डिप्टी कमिश्नर्स को डायरेक्शन दे दिया कि पूरी कोऑपरेशन देनी है जो आर्मी अथॉरिटीज़ को, किसी तरह की लैक्सिटी टॉलरेट नहीं की जाएगी। हमने क्लियर डायरेक्शन दे दिया डिप्टी कमिश्नर्स को। और मेरी बात भी हुई है डीसी लुधियाना से कि वो कहते हैं कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, पूरी उन्होंने जो है इनको कोऑपरेशन दी है। कोई कम्युनिकेशन गैप हो सकता है, हमने तो महीना पहले भी एक बार इशू आया था, तभी हमने क्लियर कर दिया था सब डिप्टी कमिश्नर्स को कि वी हैव टू गिव फुल कोऑपरेशन।
ये भी कहा गया था कि अगर जल्दी डायरेक्शन नहीं देगी तो हम पड़ोसी राज्यों में जा सकते।
नहीं, ऐसी कोई इशू नहीं है, ऐसी कोई इशू नहीं है। हमने क्लियर डायरेक्शन दे दिए और सारे डीसीज जो हैं कोऑपरेट कर रहे हैं। कोई